Chores.
Happy Friday.
Hello.
You're supposed to say Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yep. Your hair looks combed. We're off to a good start tonight. Well, let's get some hellos in. Let's see. Gizmo was the first one in the house. Good evening to you. Followed by Catherine. 25 minutes later. Yep. Mr. Russell Scheid is in the house. Russ is a good buddy of mine, and he's this guy who he's the guy that built my pond, and he's an older timer around these parts of the wood, but everybody knows him. Super knowledgeable. We love to sit down and chit chat because he just has so much to say, and he's lived a long life and is really integrated into part of our community. And anybody ever has a question about how to move dirt, I can't think of anybody better.
Yes, we're very fond of him.
Yes, and super
welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Russ. Oh, but I will say that he don't take direction very well. He's a stubborn old fucker. He's a stubborn old dude, and he don't take direction, but a good guy. Let's see here. Banquet of Consequences in the house. Good evening. One more rock. Hello to you. The Terminator is here. Welcome, Terminator. Keep going down here. There we go. Vicky Poland. Good evening to you. Lisa. Hello. Nitos. Long time no talk. JB, how are you? Skanes girl. Welcome. See here, Jules. Good to hear from you for the second time today. Dana Green, how are you this evening? Hey, Silver Lining, how are you, my friend? City Greens. Janine, we've been over this.
Janine.
Mossy Oak Parrot, hello.
Jean.
Yep, and Luis, how are you? Chase, good evening to you. Carrie Davis, Stan Guthrie. Homestead Medical, what's up, Chuck? And the greatest name on the internet is in the house. Karen, good evening from you. Tom, good evening. Florida Mama Bear. Hilltop Home Place is with us tonight, as is Squatchy. Let me see here. And, of course, the famous Life with Mike and Jen.
Good evening from the porch.
Good evening from the porch.
Enjoy the porch.
Yep. What's this? Karen says, I don't get notifications sent, but I get a blue dot beside channels with something new, but not from your channel for this live. I don't know what the hell's going on with it.
A blue dot?
No. Let me see here. Make sure I didn't miss anybody there. All right, I think I'm all caught up. Hey, tonight I thought we would spend some time talking about community because, it just never ceases to amaze me at what community does and how with it so many things are possible. And without it, it's a, great lesson in getting your butt kicked all the time.
A struggle.
or it certainly can be, And hey, Gregory, good evening to you. Bonnie, good evening to you. I think I got them all. And so we've had quite the run over this last week. There's been a lot of community around us and a lot. And, we've been up way too late in the evenings and up way too early in the mornings. But we've gotten so much accomplished and not just us getting things accomplished, but we've got to watch many other people get many things accomplished. And like I always tell you guys, I'm not in competition with any of you because I want you to win too. And so I got to see a lot of community members win this week. And that was really, really neat to see, exciting to see, at least from, from my perspective. Yep. And the famous American Roots Farm is in the house. Good evening to Miss Jess and Joe. We'll talk about you guys a little bit too. I don't know if you'll like it, but no. Yeah. Yep.
Let's wait till they leave.
Yeah. So, so where do you want to start, babe? What do you want to talk about?
Community is great because that was one of the things we've had some folks staying with us, and then we've had other folks who aren't staying with us but who have dropped in several times this last week. So it's been a revolving door of friends. We have Jen here. She's been helping cook and clean up after all the cooking. And actually she is the one that bought all the groceries. She's called before they were on their way. And she said, what are your plans for meals? And I said, well, we could just go out because there's like 4 other families that are here. And she goes, or we could just cook.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, we could just cook. Yeah, we could do that. And she goes, it'd be just as easy, right? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, what do you have planned? And I said, I didn't have anything planned. she said, well, I was going to stop at the market and I was going to grab some groceries. And I said, why don't you just double what you were going to get? And then I'll just give you some money and then we'll just eat from whatever you bring. So that, actually she was like, okay, so that was a big win. So she brought like roasts and kielbasas and chickens and just vegetables and breads and snacks and all ingredients to make like the food for the entire week, basically.
Yeah, we ate good.
We have been eating like real food that I didn't necessarily cook.
Yeah, it was nice. So, hey, by the way, welcome LJC. I'm glad you guys made it home. Got to spend some time with them. Zach from Unique Prepping's in the house, and I'm going to talk about Zach here after a little bit.
Welcome.
Yep. I think I said hello to Stan. Stan, one step closer. Good evening to you. Make sure I got through him here real quick. Yep. Okay, cool. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So anyway, and then I said, like, I have some things I have to get done. And so she's here and she says, well, what can I do? Like, what do you need something done in the greenhouse? And I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't even started the greenhouse. So she said, if you would like, I could work on some of that. And I said, yes, absolutely. Yes, let's get that done. She said, well, do you have any direction for me? I'm like, no, I don't have any direction. She's like, so I could have like free reign and do whatever I want with this? And I'm like, yes, do whatever you want with it. And so I've peeked in every now and again, but basically she's like been in there for 3 days.
Yeah.
Amending soil and putting dirt inside the starter trays and just getting life started.
Hey, my buddy Jonathan's in the house. Good evening to you, bud. Yeah, he's a concrete layer.
He is. He's great at it.
Yep. Finisher, not layer. Finisher.
Both.
I guess both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's both.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mrs. Hacks, how are you? Hope the turkeys are still doing well.
And she said that the one of the hens that was kept getting up on top of the building. They clip their wings and it still gets up on top of the buildings. So hopefully it's not a bad thing that she keeps getting up there. So anyway, we've had company and I've had a great time. I've had a great time spending time with Jen.
You know, it's been so big. You know, we went this morning. B and I went and walked another property of another homestead. It's just absolutely beautiful, and they're just getting ready they're in the process of purchasing it. And so we got out there and got to walk around and look at the ponds and the grass and the cows and and everything and
the ideas.
Got to get the ideas, and it's so fun for me and so empowering for me to listen to other homesteaders talk about their dreams, because what else is there at the end of the day, right? And it's that excitement and that hope and that drive to go do that. And so that was really, really cool. The day before that, I got to go walk another homestead that's been in construction for a little while and got to spend out. And I was telling the lady that owns it, I'm like, you have so many grapes here. Like everywhere I walked through their woods, I mean, there are wild grapevines everywhere.
Really?
I mean, hundreds. And we have a lot here, but like not like what they have. They have hundreds and hundreds. And so it was really, really cool, to be part of that. And then there's another, homesteader that's in town that owns land, don't live here yet. And so, they've been out working on, getting their tiny house built and getting everything put in, and that excitement. And we had you guys remember we bought a bunch of solar panels and they all arrived. And so that was the thumbnail from tonight. Says, we got together as a community and had to break apart all those panels and load them and get them all shipped out, to kind of where they go. And it's just amazing that we added 105,000 watts of power to the community. We talked about that in our last live and so we, kind of had to, kind of get through that. I'm going to show you guys a bunch of the stuff that we've been working on, with the community, but I just wanted to start with community tonight because it's so empowering to me that with so many hands, and not just hands, brains.
Yes.
Right. Because everybody's smart in their own way. They were talking about, B was talking about Jen earlier, and she's super smart in what she's super smart about. And, Mario, her old man, he's super smart in what he's super smart about. And I think all of that combined, I think that builds strength and it builds unity and it builds security and it builds hope, that no matter what comes our way, we'll be able to get through it, you know. And there's a famous quote that, you know, talks about the best time to repair a roof is when it's sunny. And, you know, let's not wait for the rainstorm, right?
Yeah.
And we can continue, you know, to build that roof. And I think that's, you know, for me, that's us. Hey, Mandy Garrett, good evening. I think that's super exciting. I missed a comment up here from Jonathan. He was talking about what he did. I don't know where I went. Oh, right there. Yeah. So Jonathan says he's a concrete layer skid steer operator, turkey herder. You can learn it all at tags. Yeah. It's been really, hey, Tim, good evening to you. It's just been a really cool experience. But then there's also the other side of community, which I'll talk about throughout the evening a little bit, about the, you know, the tribulations of community. And because, you know, you certainly get those too, because we're all humans, and because we're all humans, we're all flawed. And because we're all flawed, there will always be issues, you know, and there'll always be those things that you have to deal with. And I think the testament to being a great homesteader, or in our case, trying to learn to be a great freesteader, isn't, you know, anything more than how well we deal with the obstacles.
Right.
You know, the one thing after the other, the ripple effect, which you guys have heard me talk about over and over and over again. And, you know, we were laughing with homesteaders earlier this week and through the week that something so simple as, okay, the solar panels show up, how that derails what you're doing and gets you sent down another path. And then you wake up and you're like, man, I didn't get what I wanted to get done, but you know, I got these other things done. And so anyway, it was super excited. Hey, David, welcome. Good evening to you. Let me see here. Even community on YouTube is so motivating, helping me move forward, doing what I can in the suburbs. Guys, you can absolutely do it. And Florida Mom Bear, I'm telling you, you have community right around you. You just have to build it. This is the thing, is that community has to be an intentional event. It's the only way it's going to work. And I've been at this, you know, many years. And I'm telling you, the only way it works is by being intentional.
Yeah.
You know,
you have to be present.
Yeah, you have to be present, and you got to reach out, and you got to be willing to do your part plus some, even if it makes you uncomfortable. And it's out of that comfort zone. You know, that's the place that we grow the very most. And, you know, we talk about, you know, jokingly on the channel, things like tribulation training. And the truth is, we are being taught every single day how to withstand what's coming. Yeah. And that's happening because we're being looked after, right?
Looked after?
Yeah, we're being looked after. And, yeah, we're being looked after. I mean, you know, God, your creator, you know, whatever it is not putting anything in front of us that we can't handle, but they're building us to be able to deal with, you know, what comes, and to be a solution, and to be a sheepdog instead of, you know, a wolf.
Yeah.
And so we're in sheepdog training, you know, and so anyway, I'm super excited about it. And and we're going to talk a lot about it tonight, because there's just, again, so many things that have gone on. But anyway, I'll quit rambling. Before we get back to community, I wanted to mention one quick thing. Many of you guys know Zach over at Unique Prepping. And, you know, we've done some videos, and I've been on his lives a couple times. Anyway, I've got him. He's going to come on my show before long here. And but what I would like to do is I'd like to get him questions ahead of time. And so the cool thing about Zach is Zach embraces his challenges. He's super willing to talk about what they mean to him, and how they affect him, and how they affect, you know, his prepping, and the changes that he has to make. And so I would really encourage you guys, if any of you guys are open to it, email me questions you want to hear from Zach about. And I'm going to have Zach on the show, but I want to send him all the questions ahead of time. This allows him to totally prepare for it. And then we can have a big open conversation. So if one of you mods who are out there will put my email address in there, and then I can post it up here so everyone can see that. We'll get some really good questions, and we'll have a good show. And, you know, it'll be good. My email address is tag the letter NB. So tag NB at lifedonefree.com. And we'll get the mods to put it up here pretty quick. But either way, I'd love to hear some questions from you guys. And then we'll get Zach on the show. Zach, I have not been ignoring you, but I just wanted to wait to Friday till I could ask the question. Yeah, Life Mike Jen says, and be flexible. No plan survives the first contact. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, Manny Garrett says, yep, your vibes attract your tribe. They do, you know, and if you're positive and you're motivated, and, you know, that will grow and that will attract. There you go. Yeah. So there's my email address right there. If you guys want to have some questions for Zach, put them in, send them to me, and then I'll get them. I'll put them all together, and I'll get them over to Zach, and then we can have a, you know, really cool conversation. Donald, thank you very much. By the way, welcome. Says, you guys are rocking it. Keep it going. We're winning every single day. And, you know, I love winning. Super exciting. Todd, not Todd, welcome to you as well. Again, with community, guys, everything's possible. And I want to stress to you guys, it is not out of reach for any of you. You just got to go be intentional. You got to go decide that's what you're going to do. I'm not talking about all the BS that leads up to the decision. I'm talking about the actual decision to go put action behind your thoughts, and put the thing into motion. I'm telling you, you can absolutely do it.
I was going to say too, like part of the, learning how to be better at it all. We have to not keep score.
Oh,
we
super
have
important.
to, sometimes if you feel like you're getting the short end of the stick, you have to kind of get over it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're keeping score like that, it will always end badly.
Well, it'll just you'll get to a point where you feel like you were
taken advantage of.
Yeah, they was taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes those kinds of things happen, but you want to surround yourself with community members where you feel okay about it, and I want to be around people that I can give you give the benefit of the doubt to and feel good about giving them the benefit of the doubt. Right. And I think you have to give yourself permission to be bad at things at first. Oh, what a perfect way to say that.
You also have to give other people permission to be bad at things.
Yep. Karen says, last spring, I met a woman interested in herbal medicine, teas, etc. A week or two ago, she texted me that she's met a third woman who's interested. She commented she's finally meeting her people. How wonderful. Well, I think this is an important thing too, is that we are tasked with the responsibility of building community everywhere. This is why this channel exists, right? And so for you guys, it's not just about building your communities where you're at, but it's about preaching the message and helping other people to build their communities in other places, even if you never hear of it, and even if you don't know, Hey, Brett Boyd, good evening to you. Catherine says, what are your thoughts on horses on the homestead? Unless you ride as a hobby or for kids, I think they may only be an expensive yard art. I've had them and they're expensive if you don't have pasture. Yeah, we don't have horses. I have no plans to have horses, although I'd love to have them if, the lights ever went out. You didn't have transportation. But at the end of the day, I think they're just a bill.
You grew up with horses.
And I grew up on a horse farm. Yep, I know all about them. Yeah.
That's so funny that you call it a horse farm now, because when I called it a horse farm,
it was a ranch.
You were all butthurt about it.
I'm glad you combed your hair today, beautiful.
I did.
See, rock on, right? Yep, half bubble off. Plum says, I'm searching for my people. Bud, I'm telling you, the best advice I can give you got to be intentional. And, we've told stories about meeting people at Tractor Supply or meeting people, in all kinds of weird places.
You kind of have to put yourself out there in order to find people who meet those requirements.
Yeah.
Because if everybody just stays home, then
nothing will ever happen.
Don't talk to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Early in my journey of trying to build community, what we used to think we could do is hide behind the scenes, and we would meet everybody covertly.
Yep.
Right. And eventually you build
an event here.
Yeah.
There.
You'd build this, James Wesley, we're all patriots, survivalist group that you would become part of. But guys, I'm telling you, it was so much work, and it didn't go anywhere very fast. And I had to continue to revamp until we could figure out a way, to get us there. Masioke says, grace for yourself and others is key when contributing to community. It is. And you got to be willing to do your part plus a little bit. And just not let it bother you. We talk about, you guys have heard me say on this channel 1,000,000 times that love is the easiest of all things. And I get called on this statement all the time. Like, people are like, I love it easy. Yeah, it is. If you truly love somebody, doing for them won't be a burden.
Right.
It's just a fact. Doing the things that makes me happy is not a burden to me, because I love her and I want her to be happy. And her need to be happy and her need to have those needs met outweigh those feelings inside me, like, oh, that wasn't fair. I had to do more today than whatever it is. Than she did, whatever it is. And
she slept in.
That's right. Whatever it is.
I got to go to work.
And that's so crazy, because you know what? If B could sleep in till 10 o'clock one morning, which she never does, I would celebrate this. Yeah. Like, I would try to keep quiet. I'm like, let that chick sleep as long as she could sleep.
Yep.
Like, I'd be super excited for her. But guys, you got to treat community the same way. If we're truly going to show love, then we have to show love. Right. And in the end, love is the easiest of all things, because if you really love, it's just not that complicated.
Right. Or hard.
Yeah. One Step Closer says, go to the local festival. A great way to find your tribe. I have met many tribes and festivals. There are people who live here right now today in our community that we are in, elbow deep in muck, all the time, who, came because of some speech that I was at, and I met them in
At a
the audience
festival.
somewhere, and it's absolutely beautiful. Hey, by the way, ACM, welcome.
Hi.
Yeah. Skeins Girl, sorry. They go by fast. Go to the festivals and events, Self-Reliance Festival, Kentucky Sustainable Living, and Midwest Preparedness. Yeah, and I've met great people at every single one of those. And I've had people from my farm come to my farm from every one of those events. There is like-minded people everywhere. It's actually refreshing. It is, and there's going to be more and more and more. There's not probably a better time to build community with all the craziness that goes on in the world right now. People are very unsure.
They're unsure of if they should say anything. They're unsure if they should talk to that person. They're unsure if they should say, they're all still kind of hiding. I think there's like-minded people everywhere. It's just they're not interested in talking yet.
Brett Boyd said, I was going to town the other day, spotted an Azure standard drop, turned around and met some great people. I just put my first order in for 10 whole chickens and 2 dozen eggs. Brett, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Congratulations.
You had to be intentional. You stopped, you turned around, you went back, you made the effort, and this is how community is built.
You can get big bags of Redmond salt from them too, just so you know.
Okay. Brett, congratulations to you and good job leading. That's exactly how it has to happen. Zach says, by the way, guess what I'm going to do starting next Wednesday and every Wednesday after? I'm going to host community lives.
Good job.
Yep.
On Wednesdays, what time?
Yeah, Zach, give us the details of Wednesday on what time. Terminator says, I've reached out to my neighbors and now doing seed swaps over a cup of tea and talking about gardening and preserving what we grow, and also discuss what is the the best livestock to raise. Guys, this is how it's done. This is exactly how it's done. Terminator has been part of this channel since the very beginning. And, we've had a lot of conversations about her and I about, there's nobody up here or whatever. And now she's part of a bigger and bigger and bigger community. And it's just about being intentional,
Yeah.
Yep. Jen says, totally slept in, laugh out loud. The best sleep I've had in a year and a half. How wonderful is that? Right? Just absolutely amazing. Let me see here. Oops, sorry, Redneck says, we talked to you at SRF and are ready to move. And now are ready to move. Yep. Yeah, we're building an amazing community. I'm going to share a lot of community stuff with you guys today that's been going on. And, the power of community is a very, very, very real thing.
Very, very, very.
Very, 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 very rare thing. Skanes Girl says, I rarely meet a stranger. We know this is true. The festivals are an excellent way to meet like-minded folks. Yeah, super excited. And it is. And it's just great, Unique says, I'm thinking 9 p.m. Eastern, so 8 p.m. Central. Yeah, excellent. Give me the details when you know for sure, bud, and I'll help you promote it. We'll get it out there, okay? And anytime you want me to come on your show and talk about community, you let me know. Okay, I think I'm caught up with all that.
So you have to click it twice. You click it first, and then it lights up, and then you click it again, and it
so if I click on it, see it'll go on the screen. And then if I want to remove it, I click it and it goes away.
See, so you have to click it in order to remove it.
Yeah. All right, cool. What else you got? Let me just.
So another thing that we were grateful to have community around was I was up in the garden, and Indiana Mike walked past. I think it was Indiana Mike, and he said, "You free ranging cows?" And I said, "No, what?" And he said, "Is that your cow that's out?" And I'm like, "Oh no!" So I ran up the driveway, and yes, it was my cow that was out. She apparently fits through the door of the sheep shed. So she went in the sheep shed one way and then came out
the people
door. Well, it's a narrow. It's not a normal size people door. Of course she could fit through that, but it was like a narrow door. What is that width that you said the cows cannot fit through that?
Yeah, it's 24 inches.
But calves can.
Well, she's a little cow.
Yeah.
She's a year old.
She's a year old. Yes. So she fit in one door and right out the other, and was just roaming up the driveway. Cost about 45 minutes to get her back in, and 7 people. So and a 4-wheeler. And I had to put the dogs up because it was too much chaos for what was going on. So we learned that
Yeah, she didn't want to go back. She didn't want to go back in very bad, but
we got to keep the sheep door shut.
Yeah. The Terminator says, I've been in touch with a lady that will ship me breast chicken eggs for hatching, hoping to hatch this breed. They are good dual purpose birds. Yeah, Terminator. So Mrs. Hacks is in the chat tonight. And if you go over to their YouTube channel, Hacks for the Homesteader, she raises breasties.
Or on freesteading. She's
you can also find her on freesteading. Sorry about that. Yeah. So if you guys go over there, you may be able to make another connection there too.
They're under Hacks.
Yeah.
On freesteading.
Yep. Guys, if you join and look, Azure has drops all over. Even if you don't buy, go and ask. Most of them are homesteaders. Yeah, what a great place. And Brett, I'm going to add that to when I do community speeches as another place to meet people, because that's a really great one. One Step Closer says, too bad you didn't film that. Would have been a great video. Well, actually, some of it was filmed by American Roots.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, I think she got some of it.
No.
Yeah, so I'm assuming American Roots will be posting some of this. So go over to American Roots and subscribe. And you might see the
chaos.
Yeah, the chaos of the cow getting out.
She was just standing there laughing. So I can't imagine what that video is going to be like.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was. Yeah. I had not had that happen before. And carry the bucket with the feed, and they're inside the pen, you have feed. And she's like, yes, I want that feed. But outside of the pen, she's like, I don't want you. I don't want your feed. I want to be in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
And so that's where she went. She went right to the neighbor's yard and started running around. And it was new. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, we got it though.
I am so grateful that there were more than just me here.
Yeah.
Because I think that I would have had a difficult time trying to
get
her in.
Yeah. Conserve Friends says, evening all. Sorry, I'm late to the class. Do I need to wear a dunce hat? Yeah, no. So you get one free tardy a week. One. If you're late more than once a week, then we'll have an issue. But I think you're safe for right now.
That's good.
Terminator says, will she be able to ship to Canada? I don't know. You're just gonna have to look her up. It's Patty. She's a wonderful lady. She's very good at what she does. But I know she raises that breed, and I know she sells quite a few of those eggs.
Yeah, she has black, white, and mixed.
Yeah. Super
blue, black, blue, and white.
Yeah, super smart people and some of the freest people that I know. But just reach to her at Hacks for the Homesteader, which is the YouTube channel, or on Freesteading underneath Hacks, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to find them. Hey, Wes, good evening to you, bud. How's it going? Okay, let me see here. Florida Mama Bear, thank you very much. Isn't that always so embarrassing when they just have to trot over to the neighbors? Oh, yeah. And this girl, we didn't want anything to do with us putting her back in. She was having a good old time. A year-old Dexter heifer, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, and even Lou went over. I mean, Lou has been raising cows, these cows forever. And so she got over and put the harness on her. Mm-hmm. And just as she tried to latch it at the bottom, the cow backed out and kind of trolloped away. Mm-hmm. And so Lou almost had her, but cow won.
Catherine says, hello, American Roots. Your updates are encouraging. Yeah, their updates are encouraging to a lot of people. I really encourage them to do videos about trials and tribulations and the things that are learned along the way, because they're, at the beginning, I don't know. And I don't know, say the beginning. That's not true, because the beginning starts, hey, I need to get out of debt. And the beginning starts, I need to start looking towards this. But they're at the beginning of actually building a homestead, right? They've been through that. I recognize the beast. I'm going to starve the beast. I'm going to kick the beast's ass, right? They're through that piece. New level, new devil, right?
You're talking about American Roots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but I love their channel. I love watching their updates. And I get to experience them, right? In a lot of ways, I'm living them with them in a lot of ways. But yeah, if you guys haven't been over there, go check out American Roots Farm and their journey to find freedom.
Everybody's journey is different too. So this is just a good way to watch another version of like how they did it.
Yeah. Mrs. Hack says she'll look into seeing if she can ship to Canada on Monday.
To sip.
Yeah. And yeah, Mrs. Hacks also, I have Terminator's contact information if you need it, and vice versa. Just FYI. Well, and then so you're talking about cows and community, but that's not where the community ended with the cows this week, right?
No,
Didn't you
we
and
had,
Lou
yep,
and Jen
we
and
all
yeah,
went
okay.
up to,
Talk about that story a little bit.
so I think you had found, was it you that found there was a Dexter calf that was, well, a year old. So she was up for sale. The owner had several Dexters, a Jersey and something else. And she had one for sale. So we went up. Lou has all her brains came with us, so I got to listen to how, questions that need to be asked and things to look for, and placement of the feed and udders. Who would have thought? You have to look at udders before you buy the cow.
You do that when you're dating, don't you?
Look at the udders before you buy the cow. Let me check you out, which makes sense. I mean, the just how the size of it and the temperament of the cow with the owner that you're purchasing it from.
Mm-hmm.
We walked up, so she had to like corral it into a chute to put a harness on it, and then she brought the calf out to the like a bigger area and tied it up. And the first thing the calf did was throw herself on her back and was like, "No, I'm not going to do it." And so Lou's like, "Do you want me to untie her face while she's laying down?" She was not cooperating. And so we went up to look at the cow, decided after being there, I don't know, 45 minutes or so, that I was going to pass on her. This particular one was a A1, A2 cow. So I was looking for A2.
Yeah. Well, what I thought was so cool about it is B had the blessing of tag to get whatever she wanted. She had a pocket full of money.
I did. I took money in case. I even took enough money in case, like she said, I'll throw this one in for whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, you never know when you're going to like look at a cow at like a farm if you're gonna like just buy one. And so I didn't want to have oh no, I don't have any money with me. So I was like, let me see what I can get.
Yeah. Yeah. But she came home empty handed.
I did because.
Yeah. Jen says it was very educational to listen to Miss Lou, ask the questions, and physically examine the cow. Yeah. We're so fortunate to have Louise,
an expert.
and King Lefty, Hefty, Gypsy, Juicy in the house. They're a blessing to all of us. But yeah, I think it was pretty neat, and I thought you thought it was a pretty cool experience.
Oh,
right?
I learned a lot.
Yeah. Okay, I missed one back up here. I need to address right here. One step closer. Wanted to know how we did at the auction. So let's talk another step of community. So while we were down, when we had all this community around us, a whole bunch of us went to the auction. And
spent the entire day.
Spent the entire day there. So I was there at about 8:15 in the morning. Auction starts at 9. What time did I get home? 6?
Yeah.
Probably 6 o'clock at night. Yep, enough time for dinner. Guys, I'm going to tell you, it was the weirdest auction I'd ever been to. Everything was going for stupid money.
Like money, expensive?
Expensive. So I bid on 2 items all day long. The first one I was outbid super quick. And
which was what?
It was just a steel tank
that
was there. And because it was at $20, nobody was bidding on it. I'm like, I'll throw it, But as soon as I bid, people started jumping in, and I didn't want it that bad anymore. And the second thing, the only thing I bought one thing all day long, which was a stump bucket for my skid steer. And that was it. That was all I purchased the whole entire time. So we did not do well at the auction from a price perspective, but it was what I think was so fascinating about it was just that everything. I mean, I seen T-posts go for $6. I can damn near buy them new for that. I looked at the Bee's grain cart that she wanted really bad, and I had it in my head, okay, I'll pay up to $1,500 for this grain cart.
Yep.
Because at about 25, I'm buying a new one, right?
Yeah.
And,
well, depending upon size,
yeah.
Yes.
And it sold for like $2,300, and I just wasn't going to do it at that. So one step closer, the auction was not all that great. But
we did get a stump bucket.
Yes, we did. Hey, Vicki Pullen says to Catherine, says that we're in Willis, Texas, and would love to connect. And this is wonderful. And Catherine, Vicki, they got a lot going on. They're successful at what they're doing. That would be a great connection for you. And I would urge you to to make it. Now, Catherine, you can go over to Freesteading and you can find Vicki under Sunshine Kid at Freesteading if you want to connect that way as well. Yeah. Scans Girl says, look, not touch. Yeah. You guys, I'm so dedicated. So dedicated. All right, where are we at? Oh my goodness, I'm way behind.
Oh.
Yeah. Brett said, went catfishing Wednesday, loaded the boat feed. 4 neighbors, 2 that came over to help me cut trees. I know it's not farming, but it's all about community. That is community. That is absolutely community. Your farming community, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. Jen says, buy once, cry once.
Yeah, that's actually what made me decide not to get her the cow, because when Jen said that, I was like, so for a couple $100 more, I can get exactly what I want.
Right.
Or I can get this now, right, or her now. Yeah. And so when she said that, I was going, oh, okay. Okay, you're right.
Yep. Catherine says, scripture says, if you want friends, then you need to show yourself friendly. This has guided me for several years. I volunteered at a large hospital and people so appreciate your smile. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep. Squatchy says, we have a Ritchie Brother auction near us. I'd love to go to one of them. And everything goes for way too much. Nuts stopped going. I usually do pretty good at the auction, but this last one was not good, man. Yeah. Terminator says she gets T-posts for free. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no doubt, huh? I'd take all of them. Yeah, we weren't created to be alone, but to join communities with your thoughts and ideas. Very rewarding. Amen. Yeah, Bo, Vic, you're super welcome. Super, super welcome. Again, guys, don't forget our job. If we're going to leave our kids and our grandkids and our great grandkids a better place than the place we have to get involved. And it's time. The days of sitting behind the scenes and hiding and all, it's over. It's time to get up, be vocal, stand on the front, and go out there and build community. And so I want to help, Vicki, you build your community where you're at. I do. And whatever that means, I don't know what that means, but I absolutely do.
Yeah, you got to do it. We're running out of time. You got to find your people.
Yeah, Jen says, cry once for the cow, not the auction. Folks are trying to get assets and ditch the fiat. I know. And it was funny. We were standing there with a handful of community members, and that topic came up, and we're like, we're not the only ones that know the dollar isn't worth anything. Right? I mean, people were just buying up all the machinery and buying up everything they could buy up. Maybe it's because they know, 2 months from now, it'll be, a whole lot more expensive. Man, I get a lot of messages. Yeah.
You always get a lot of messages.
Yeah. Wes says the auction I went to in Cali, I got an almost brand new steel 290 chainsaw for $200. Yeah. Like I said, I normally do good. There's another one coming up here in a couple weeks, but I'm a little worried about what it will be. But
is that a good deal for a 290 chainsaw for $200?
Oh yeah. It's probably 400 new, probably.
Oh, wow.
50 cents on the dollar, probably. So, all right, let's start showing you guys some pictures of what's been going on. So we've been talking about community. So you guys knew that I excavated out the community building. And so Mario came down and helped with Indiana Mike, and we put all the plumbing in for the community building. And so if you look at the picture all the way in the back, you can see those 2 guys standing over there. And so that set of plumbing is the girls' bathroom. The middle set of plumbing is the kitchen, and the closest, or towards the bottom of the screen is the men's bathroom, and then it drains down the center and it'll head out to a septic tank.
Why does it have to be a men's and a women's?
I thought that's just the way you would want it. I just wanted 2 bathrooms.
Because like the women's bathroom is always going to be fuller.
Yes, but it's also closest to the hot water. It has a bathtub when the guys has a shower. So you guys
I thought they both had bathtubs.
Nope, I put a bathtub in one and a shower in the other, and the girls' bathroom is closest to the hot water. Because you know how that works with the on-demand heater, right? Just like in our bathroom.
You put the urinal in the men's?
No.
Just a toilet?
Yeah.
So a girl could go in there?
Yes. So, Pete says, how much was the permit to build? Did you get an environmental study done? Yeah, I don't have to do environmental studies, and I don't have to get a permit until I start construction. And what they define construction as is start putting the walls up.
Building on
so concrete. As long as I'm pouring concrete, running plumbing on that, I don't have to get a permit. So I haven't done any of that yet.
It's not time yet.
Yeah. Tag, that's called panic buying, not smart. Reminds me of the toilet paper shortage. The more they freak out, the longer it takes to get back to normal. Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, you get, when you're at an auction like that all day long, as the day progresses, you feel more and more pressure to get something bought because you wasted the whole day. to get there. American Roots, thank you for putting my email address up there. Again, we're looking for questions for Zach at Unique Prepping. And then we're going to put them all together and get them over to him. Thank you for that. But anyway, back to the picture. So again, this is what we're working on. And I'll show you a couple of the slides from it. This is looking at it from the other direction. So again, there's 2 bathrooms and there's a sink going to go in it. And we got all the excavating done. And again, got, the plumbing. It took 3 guys worked on this to get all this stuff in. It didn't take us very long. It was about a day's worth of work before it was all said and done. And this is looking at it the other way. So, and I'm going to do a video on this, guys. So I'll break it down to exactly.
All tight. It's all nice and tight.
Yeah,
it's all like wrapped up and snuggled together. It's not sloppy and.
Yeah. Hey, MJ from Wisconsin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, let me see here. Oh, yeah. So then I started building footings. Let me go to the next picture. So what I'm working on now, and I don't have them all in, but you can see I'm building the frames for the footings. And so we'll pour them and get them all up. Once those are up, then we'll pour the concrete cap on top of it, and then we'll be ready to build. So this is what I'm working on right now, is getting these footings built. But when you talk about, we've been talking about community, right, as kind of the, the theme for tonight. But the fact of the matter is that, my buddies came and helped and said, hey, I'm smarter at this than you are. And they didn't say this, but this is just me interpreting, right? I'm smarter than this than you. I'm going to lend my hand, right? Because if I lend my hand to doing this, then there'll come a time and I'll lend my hand and we'll work together. But there's no expectations. There's no keeping score. There's no, hey, nobody asked me, hey, what do I owe you or you owe me? It's not like that.
What do I get in return?
It's none of that. And it's not about any of that stuff. It's about us getting together and trying to grow our community and get a little better, a little stronger, a little faster, every single day. And if we can do that, then we're all going to be a lot better. And, we work a lot for the collective, and, that's pretty exciting. And so anyway, we got through that and it was super exciting. Like I said, about a day's worth of work, and now I'm on to footings, and I'm self-reliance at this point for a long ways, because
What'd you decide the footings were going to be? Are they 1 foot?
They're 18 inches by 18 inches. And then I'll pour a 6-inch pad on top of it.
1 foot wasn't good enough. We had to go 18 inches.
I took the recommendation of a smart guy.
Somebody else told you that.
Catherine Sword, thank you so very much for that. Yep. And I promise you, so Catherine donated $19.99, and that's going directly to the community building. I will keep none of it. It'll all go to fund that community building, and that'll be awesome. So you got to write that down so you don't forget. So we'll put a plaque up on the wall, right? Like we do with all the rest of them.
Brett, I have that right here.
Yeah. Brett says, tag, why PEX pipe? I have heard pros and cons. I like it. It's easy to deal with. But let me go back. I want to show you guys something. This is something new for me. I'm not a construction expert. But let me pull the picture back up here. So this is the first project I've ever done where we ran all of the water lines under the slab. And so this will keep them from freezing. And then you guys can see the black insulation that's around the pipe. And it's not even really for insulation as it was described to me by Mario. It's really for when the earth is moving and the grinding, and that you don't grind a hole in your, in your pipe, because getting a leak underneath the slab would not be fun. Right. And
who would have known that would do that in the first place?
Well,
you would think that would be,
Yeah. But back to your question. So here's the thing. PEX, as everything I've read into it, expands really well before breaking. You don't get as many leaks. There's not as many fittings. Like, and you see all of this, there are no fittings in any of this every single piece of pipe's one full run. There's no fittings underground. None of that'll all be up above ground. It's easy. I can do it myself. It's, if you clamp it, it won't leak. So I'm a big fan of PEX. I like it way better than PVC, which is brittle. I like it way better than copper, because copper is an earth element. And so you get that water buildup. You get all of those other things that sweats. So I'm a big fan of it. But in fairness, I want to tell you, I'm not an expert. Oh, there you go. Jen says, rising tide lifts all ships. Yes, it does. Yep. And Gypsy says, thanks for walking our future land with us today. Yeah, and it was so nice. And what a beautiful piece of property. And I'm going to tell you, do they got a view.
They got a lot of pond opportunities.
They got a lot of that too. Yeah. LJC said, I wish I'd had time to help get away when you were doing all that plumbing. I want to learn. Well, there's going to be plenty of opportunities, especially because you're going to build a whole homestead, right? Yep. Sharon, welcome. Good evening to you. I've never used PEX for plumbing, but used it to attach frost cloth to it over fruit trees. I've never done that. Let me see. Farm Ranch Homestead, good evening to you. I'm coming in a bit late, but at least I made it. I got back from picking up a new to me tractor.
Wow.
Yep, winning.
Congratulations.
Yep, Florida Mama Bear says leaks under the slab are a pain, especially old cast iron pipes. Yeah, and I don't want to do any of that. This is part of the reason why there's no fittings in it, right? These are big, long runs. And then they come up out of the ground. All the fittings will be up out of the ground. Yeah, Hack says PEX works much better in winter for tolerating freezing. Yeah. Yeah, and Hack likes the MacGyver guy, so he would certainly know, right? Let me see here where I'm at in my slideshow. I don't know what's I'm cheating, so I don't know what's coming up, so I got to look. Oh, yeah, I know where I'm at. Okay. You want to go? Let me just keep it trucking on. Let's keep talking about community, right? What's next on your list?
The tornado.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll fast forward in my slide and I'll show you guys.
Fast forward. Yeah, so we had a tornado warning.
You had a tornado on the ground. And that tornado went right through the backyard of Grumpy Acres, for those of you guys who know Grumpy Acres. And we had a bunch of hail, and this picture of this tornado was taken 8 miles from me, from my house. So go ahead, continue to tell about what happened here at the house, though, while all this was going on.
So it was, of course, it's during the daytime, and this is a typical event. During the daytime, it's sunny, it's warm, it's nice out, we're outside. And then something, you get a, hey, potential tornadoes tonight, and you're like, no, that can't be. But then it starts getting darker, and I'm talking to Jen. I'm like, okay, what are we doing for dinner? Okay, we're gonna make something easy. We're gonna do some kielbasas. We're gonna do some potatoes, and then we're cooking everything, getting everything outside, cooking on the grill, bringing everything in. So about dark time is when like all things start to stir. Right. So it goes from a watch to a warning. You start calling people who are in the area who have tiny homes or are staying in smaller dwellings that might possibly want to go somewhere else. You call parents, check on them, call family members, check on them, let people know what's headed this way. We've got Neon called me and said, hey, are you watching what's going on? What's going,
so nice.
Possibly coming your way. You need to pay attention.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, thank you. I'm going to look. If you hear anything, let me know, because you just never know when a situation is going to happen when you don't have the opportunity to know. The town that it went through, their sirens, their warning systems went out, of course.
Yeah, it failed.
So there were people driving around the streets,
the cops
yelling.
We're driving around the street with microphones.
It was the cops
telling people to take cover.
They were yelling
through a microphone. Yeah.
A megaphone?
Yeah, like a
walk at loudspeaker. So it's nice to have the community when you're calling them, they're calling us. Everybody's kind of keeping track of where it's going, the path, who's in that path. Let's contact those people. And then we have people started to come over and at that time. So for me, everybody has a job. I start getting, chairs, blankets. I mean, that stuff is already down there for us. But to have, 5 other people come over, 5 other families come over, you're like, okay, extra chairs, blankets, here's headlamps. Do you have a headlamp? Everybody grab your IDs. Everybody have IDs. Everybody have headlamps. Everybody shoes, like put shoes on that you can like run in or that you're going to be in for a while. Everybody go to the bathroom before we go somewhere that you don't want to be in a room full of people and need to go to the bathroom. Even though we have provisions down there for that, let's not need it if we don't have to.
What was neat for me, though, is that so we have people who are living in tiny homes and who are in construction and don't have a basement yet and some of those things. And so everybody just came over, and there was a time when the sirens were going off and the clouds were looking not so good. And then I'm getting reports that there's a tornado on the ground. heading directly towards us in that area. And so, we all just went to the basement and ate.
Right. So it was like,
Brought
all
our
right,
plates
make a plate, take it to the basement. I have one lady was like, well, I don't know where we're going. I'm like, all right, follow me. Everybody let's just women and children this away.
Yep.
And then of course, Tag is nowhere to be found because he's always just standing out on the front porch when, a tornado's coming. But if he comes into the basement, then it's like, okay, it's here. Like that he doesn't just leave for no reason.
No, but you guys, listen, let me explain to you why. Do you know why I do that?
Because we don't have signal down there?
No, it's because I can see. And so what I'm doing
is dark.
It's dark, but I'm watching the lightning. I'm looking for the funnel cloud.
In the lightning bolts.
Yeah,
as the lightning is striking the
I can
sky,
see.
you can see that.
And I would like to see,
it coming.
Yeah, I would. Hey, Eagle Lover, welcome, by the way. I don't think I've seen you in here yet tonight, but I'm glad you called Jeff and Louise. Yeah, Jeff and Louise came over, and I think Wes makes a good point, and we have people living in campers too. Yeah, and so we just try to put the call out the best we can and for everybody to take cover. But, we got through it, and you guys can see some of the hail and that stuff. We had no damage here. A lot of water really, really quick.
Quick.
Had my pond,
hail.
my new pond I just built, little pond that we just built, fill up with water, which I got some pictures somewhere in this later. But
and that's something too. We have these people who come and they're like, "Hey, let's go to Tagistan," and they come and they don't know. I mean, they know what a tornado is, but they're not like, "What are we doing? What?" They've never been in a tornado scenario, I guess. So it's like, like the blind leading the blind. What are we doing? Where are we going? What's happening?
I got to tell him the tornado siren thing. It was fun. It was fun for me. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. It was not fun for everybody else.
So as the storm was coming in, and it was still a ways away from us, and we had people here from out of state that are moving here and hadn't been in tornadoes a lot. And so I was sitting on the couch and I downloaded a tornado siren on my phone and
played it.
And then all of a sudden played it, said, "Oh, we got to go." And
yeah. Oh, no.
We got to. Oh, yeah. And it was just funny. I was laughing, but B's like, "Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it."
Well, because when there's always a jokester. We're in a situation where this is not playtime. This is let's move your butt. Let's get out of the way. I'm getting stuff done. Get out of the way or help. And he's over here. Let's be funny. Let's make jokey.
Yeah, it was fun, and I laughed, and it was interesting to see. It was particularly on two people's face, the look on their face when that siren went off. I don't know.
Panic. I
agree with Jen. It was freaking hilarious. Yeah, Cam Squatch says, growing up in Topeka, when the sirens go off, you go outside.
Yeah, that's what he does. And I'm like, get in here. You can hear, the blowing and the chaos that's going on out there. And you're just stand out here and watch.
Yeah.
In case I missed something.
Brett Boyd said, "Tag your ass."
As.
Hey, Indiana Mike's in the house. What's up, bud?
Ahoy!
Yeah. We've been talking about community. Community's been over with Indiana, and they've been doing a bunch of work, on their homestead and
plugging right along.
Yeah, so that community extends a lot further than beyond the boundaries of my farm, which is pretty neat. Let me see here. I'm new to the Midwest, says Gizmo, and I stopped at the sheriff's office to ask what they had for a system in place to notify people of emergency. Like a wildfire, the woman looked at me and said, "Call 911." Yeah, I think, at the end of the day, Gizmo, though, I think it's super important that we begin to try to depend on ourselves more and more and more and less on the systems that are supposed to be out there to protect us because they're stressed, right? And because they're undermanned or whatever it is, and take care of ourselves. We had the fire last year and, the community put it out. We never had to call the fire department. And the Midwest definitely operates a little bit different, doesn't it? Yeah, JB says, "Sirens go off, hold my beer." Yeah.
Kids.
That's as bad as growing up in Florida with the hurricanes. I've never been in a hurricane, so I don't think I'd just run outside, but maybe. American Rent goes, thanks. We have so many on the way. Yeah.
Tornadoes.
Yep.
Nope, no more.
Yep.
They're all gone.
They're all gone. Catherine Short says, question, how is TikTok different than YouTube? Well, actually, TikTok, this is an interesting thing. I don't want to totally derail this, but so TikTok, its parent company is a Chinese company, which I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I think it was last year, November, maybe September, the federal government put a rule on them that they had to move their servers to America because they didn't want their servers housed in. Look, it's Mario. Mario's in the house. Everybody say hi to Mario. Hi.
Hey guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Woohoo, we survived the tornado.
We survived it.
Thanks to tag.
I didn't do nothing. I don't even know where I'm at. Anyway.
Sorry.
No, it's good, man. Mario, you're welcome. You come up anytime, man.
Come, tell us all of your stories.
Yep. Jen said it was a new experience for us. That way, when it starts getting bad, you can go to the basement. This is my point. This is why I stand outside. Anyways, back to TikTok. So TikTok, their servers are now mandated to be in the U.S. So why would we create a TikTok ban in the federal government for a company that you're already mandating their servers are housed in the United States? Any idea? I can tell you why. It's because they don't have the ability to censor the data. They don't have the ability to control the data with TikTok that they have with YouTube. It's not as compliant.
The YouTube is not, or TikTok is
not as compliant. Correct. But so don't listen to the bullshit. They already made TikTok move their servers to America a year ago. All right. Gizmo says, so in Southern California, when there was an emergency, you could hear phones going off everywhere to notify people. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to happen. It don't work that way all the way, but yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, she says, yeah, we don't have tornado sirens here, even though we have a few tornadoes. I'm glad everyone is okay. We barely got a sprinkle. Yeah, where you're at, C. Messer, at the storm went just right underneath you, right on top of us. We had hail the size of, maybe the biggest would have been a quarter, but there were people not far, 50, 60 miles from us that had softball size hail. Could you imagine softball size hail? Oh my goodness. Indiana says big progress this week. Thanks to the community. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what, Indiana, I got to tell you something, bud. And the community helps out a lot, but it's because you're always so helpful, right? That's a two-sided street. And, you get the help you need when you need the help because of how helpful you are. Right? I mean, I'm just saying it like it is.
Yeah.
So I would say big congrats to you for being involved and being the leader in the community you are. Anyway, oh my gosh, look at that. All right, guys, I'm sorry. If I missed your comment, I'm way behind. So
you'll have to type it out again.
Because I just won't be able to keep up if I don't scroll down to the bottom. Bird's Eye View says, we are so blessed and thankful for all you have done for us, Mario. Yeah, I don't even know how to say it except it's badass. Like that says a lot,
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. So that was the tornado. I'm going to remove this because she skipped it. So I got to go all the way back to my other things that was going on. Oh my goodness. There we are.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? Like 35 slides. Let's see here. My family is in my home state of Indiana, and when they came to visit, they all start looking at the sky when they hear our sirens. It goes off every night at 6 p.m. You know what? Love runs rampant. I would have so much fun with that. They'd come in and be like, guys, now look, we have tornadoes fairly regularly, and they usually come. It's weird. It's like
in the evening.
6-ish. Don't worry about it. If you hear a siren, run. To
the basement.
I would totally do that.
Get the kids.
Yeah, I would totally do that. Let me keep it rolling?
Sure.
Okay. How about this? So this is, if you guys can see this, so this is 2 different fence lines. So we surrounded Bee's gardens with blackberries. How many? 300?
Uh-huh.
So 300.
Over 300.
Over 300 blackberry plants went in. So all of Bee's gardens, we've surrounded all the way around.
3 sides of them.
Yeah, 3 sides of each of the gardens.
Yes.
Right. So there's actually 6 different fence lines that we put them on. And this was a little bit of a, let me see, one,
Two
two,
different sides.
three people did this to put them all in. But here in a year or two, those gardens will now be completely surrounded. And we chose thorned blackberries on purpose because we're trying to keep the critters out. And if you guys can see the fence, there's a cattle panel, there's chicken wire, and now there's thorned blackberries, right? Bring on the bunnies.
Yeah, they still get in.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how.
Yeah.
But speaking of the garden, though, I've got some MMR and Lou came up. We were able to get potatoes and onions planted.
Mm-hmm.
We were also going to plant carrots, but when we started to ruffle the bed to get it kind of looser for the carrots, we found a crap ton more potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were like beautiful seeds. So instead of, we first started plucking them out of the ground, but just a very short while in, we decided that there were going to be too many to pluck out. We put those potatoes back in, left those potatoes in that section, and planted onions around that whole like 70-foot run.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having one run of potatoes, now we have two. So we got potatoes and onions, and actually we planted onions in 3 beds.
Mm-hmm. Scainsville says, rabbits love briar patches, right?
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm. But they don't love chicken wire.
And thorn black bushes.
Yeah, and maybe those thorn black bushes will also help with the deer. I don't know.
I doubt it, because they jump. Deer will jump like a 7-foot fence.
I know. Love Runs Rampant says, hi guys, it's funny, but when they get this disappointed look, like they were looking forward to something. Yeah, but it'd be so fun. I would be doing it all the time, Love Runs Rampant. It would just be.
They would get used to that. Come on.
It would just be too complicated
all the time.
So when that tornado came in and we got lots of rain, if you guys remember that, I built that little road over one of the ditches to make a road for B to get up to
the community building.
Yeah, and over the community building.
Road.
So I took a couple pictures for you guys today. You can see how it's all the way up to the pipe. But let me see, I got another picture in here too. But it filled that whole ditch and it runs all the way back up in there. And you guys can see it's very muddy right now, but that will settle out of it. It's actually funny. If you look at the one side of the road, the water's blue and clear. And on the other side of the road, it's all muddy, but it's because it was,
that was rushed down.
Yeah, it was just rushed down in there. And so we got 1.8 inches of rain over the course of about an hour. And that completely filled that pond. Now it's not a big pond. It'll be at its deepest point will be 7 or 8 feet deep and 700 or 800 feet long because it winds up a creek bed.
It also splits and it goes up the B road and then up to the old pond.
But we got to create another body of water. And what's wrong with another body of water? Water, right?
I like water.
Yeah. Brett says rabbits don't like 22s, and if you put them in a pressure cooker, they're tender. Yeah, that's about perfectly said. Go back over. Yeah, and so I'm standing on the dam there. So this is looking back up into the woods as it winds back up in there. But
so I think there was an old like stove down in there that somebody threw in there. Is that covered? Do you know? Did you see that? That old stove or whatever that somebody threw in there. There was down in that ditch right there. There was like a stove or a furnace or something.
It's completely underwater.
Great. We should have probably tried to yank that out before you filled it.
Well, I didn't fill it. Mother Nature filled it.
You damned it.
I damned it. Hey, Mo Engineer's in the house, my good buddy. He says, hello all. I'm late because I was out buying chicken coop, wood, and stuff. Yep. But welcome anyway. Hakestraw54. Said, made it here late and had to wait for 2 long commercials. Ugh. Yep. Half Bubble Off Plum said, yep. Warm blackberry cobbler with vanilla ice cream. Mm-hmm. Hey, All American Preppers in the house. How are you, my friend? Gypsy said, Russ said he'd give me lessons with a track hoe to clean out the ponds. Well, there ain't nobody better to learn from, Gypsy. I waited 2 years for Russ to have him come dig my pond because I wanted him. Because everyone that I had talked to said there's a lot of people to dig a pond, but there's only one artist. And I wanted my pond to be all weird shaped and beautiful and all that. So
if he's giving lessons, I want lessons.
Yeah. Gypsy, ask Russ, since you're sitting there with him, ask him if B can have lessons too.
I'd like a backhoe. You can get me a backhoe.
Each chick is up to $200 each and not done yet. What? What chicks are you buying at $200 a piece? You know any chicks that cost that?
Probably because
Maybe he's taking what
he
the
has-
coop costs.
yeah, he
Oh.
has like so many birds and he's dividing it by the
Oh,
cost
got it,
of the coop, maybe.
Got it.
They better lay a lot of eggs.
Yeah, a lot of eggs. All right, let's see where I'm at here. What else is going on? We have been planting cedar trees like mad. So this is the front of my property. This is looking one way down the driveway, and that's looking the other way down. And
you can see his tracks look like he drove over the trees already.
yeah, look at that. Yeah. So these are 2 rows of cedar trees on one side, 2 rows of cedar trees on the other side. The bigger cedar trees are ones we had already planted, but we've got them all kind of filled in. So we got that done. This is on the back side of my property. There's a dirt road that runs by. And so it got 3 rows of cedar trees planted on it. And this is what they look like when they go in. Just a little itty bitty cedar tree. And then we put mulch around them, which is key, right? Because it holds the moisture in. And so as you guys can see, cedar tree stuff has been busy.
Beautiful. That just looks beautiful.
Hey, Amy B, welcome. Brett says, "Ew, what happened? They look dead." No, they look perfectly fine where we
they're
come
still
from.
dormant.
Yeah, they're dormant because they're just coming out of winter. But those cedar trees as a windbreak, well, as a windbreak, but also as a people break, as a you can't see me break, as a view break. Yeah, all of that. Yeah, but the cedar trees are just fine. They're just dug up out of the ground. And that's another really cool thing. You know, your land provides for you. Every single cedar tree you guys seen in all those pictures came off my land.
And the berries.
And the berries. We didn't buy any of them. They all were provided for us. We just moved them. Mandy says, we were just informed that the previous owner has buried an old car somewhere on our property. Perhaps one day we will find it.
Oh, it'll be like an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
You have to start digging up.
I hope for you it's a 1963 Corvette or something.
Like full of money in the trunk.
Tag a prank during a tornado warning. You get 40 lashes with wet slimy noodles. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's.
Yeah. And you know what, though? It was funny. I laughed. And then once they realized it was a joke, they laughed. So.
Once they realized it was a joke. Once we gave one person a heart attack and then the other one fell down the stairs.
Yep. Hakestraw 54, there are Eastern red cedar trees.
Yep.
Staggered, and they are the best privacy fence. Well, out here, they're really the only natural evergreen that grows here. It's going to stay green all year long. Nothing else out here that grows. Well, you could plant pines and some other things that will grow here.
They're just not native.
They're not native. And so the cedar's the native tree. And so what we want to be able to do, there's kind of a saying that goes in our community called big fences and tall trees. And so what we want to do is block out the world the best I can around the perimeter. And so I don't know how many have been planted. I stopped counting them, but there's 600 or 700 of them that have gone in over the last month, which has been pretty neat. And I can't wait. You know, it's going to be years before they get big enough to do anything. But
and if we had pine trees that we could find free on our property, we would
Using
transplant those too. But the cedar trees we got for free.
Yeah.
Just we had to dig them up.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just get them moved. And this is a great time of year to be doing it. You know, they're dormant right now, not for long.
Not for long.
And then we got
and then we're going into wet season.
Yep. But they're all mulched. They're ready to go. And if half of them take, you'll have a huge windbreak there on all of them, right? Because if they all go, we'll probably have to pluck some of them out because of how close they're planted together.
Yeah, but that'll be years in the making.
Yeah, probably. Where am I at?
Then you'll just take them and use them to make furniture or whatnot.
Yeah. Well, another cool thing, since we're talking about community.
Okay.
So we had our first real live band here this week.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right. And it was amazing. And I took a picture of
rappers.
Them. Yeah, they were rappers. So we had some famous rappers come to the farm. And the band's name was called MC Sausage and the Flute Band. And so they came out to hang out.
I gave them some merch.
Yeah, we gave them some merch. And they came out to rap for us. And they were the best rapping white guys I've ever seen. Would you agree?
Like the Beastie Boys.
I know, right? So the guy on the right, so I don't know if you guys know this, he is the 1994 world flute playing champion, right?
Yep.
Right. And the guy on the left is a world famous German sausage maker.
He's also a winner of the skid steer rodeo.
He is the winner of the skid steer rodeo. I forgot about that.
Yep.
He doesn't like driving in the mud,
so
though.
He's fancy on his feet too. He's a dancer.
Yeah, you don't no, he's fancy on his feet and he don't like driving in the mud, right?
No, neither of them do.
No. So
They don't like muddy feet.
yeah, you guys got to look them up. They're world famous. Buy their album. Don't forget, it's MC Sausage and the Flute Man, right?
And then you ended up having to pull them out of the mud.
Oh, Vicky says their evergreens don't go dormant. Well, how come? I actually buy that.
They turn like a brownish color in the wintertime. And then they turn green in the summertime or spring. So
yeah. Oh my God. American roots. Just found out about cedar apple rust this winter. Yep. I planted all the wrong cultivars. Ironically, cedar apple rust resistant cultivars are Freedom and Liberty. Yeah. Also, the other ones that work good are all the Delicious, like the Red Delicious and the Yellow Delicious work good. Arkansas Black works pretty good. For those of you guys who don't know, cedar apple rust is a kind of a rust colored looking fungus that gets on the bottom of your apples and kind of ruins your apples if they're too close to a cedar tree.
not just the bottom, just the skin.
Yeah. American Root says, I love it. So great. Yeah. Life with Mike and Jen said, oh my God, nut jobs. Tag, be careful. Certain cedars are invasive and will take over your pastures. Yeah. So these are all on the outside of my fences. These are between my fences and the road. So when I built my fences, I built them back 50 feet from the road.
Fencing.
So that, what did I say?
Fences.
Fencing.
When I built my fences.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let me see here. Eyes watering, laughing so hard. Yeah. Hey, Tag, maybe we can do a rap collaboration. I'm telling you, at the Midwest Preparedness Project, we can get you, MC Sausage, and the Flute Man together, right?
Yes.
And do this big collaborative rap. It'd be so much fun.
That would be fun.
American Root said, I got him to sign my album. See how cool is that?
I didn't think about
look
that.
Look at how awesome they look.
Isn't
that awesome?
About that.
Yeah, we need to get their autograph. You think?
Yeah.
Okay. We did that one. Okay, what else is next? So I bought a truck, right?
You bought one?
I did.
Thank God.
For you. Well, don't you want? You needed a farm truck to go get feed with, right? And my truck I drive.
And he was like, "You're not driving my truck. I'm building this truck for me."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "What do you mean? The farm truck was supposed to be for the farm, and so now he wants me to have my own farm truck and not his farm truck."
Yeah, so about a truck, but I didn't plan on buying it, but I just got such a good deal on it.
Was it 40 grand?
No.
Wasn't yours 40?
Look who's in the house.
Yo, MC Sausage in the house, people. What's happening? I'm just looking for my buddy. What's his name? Flute Man. Where's the Flute Man? I heard somebody was calling me to do a gig here at the place. You know, living life disco here to San Francisco. Tomorrow because I like to take a risk, yo. Punk rock rhyming rap is always climbing, right? Come on, Tag. I want to hear some of that MOD you was busting out last night.
No.
Tag's got some MOD issues. Just saying, people.
Oh my God.
10 seconds of fame. Everybody gets it. Here's mine. Good night, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, the power of community, we were saying. Oh my goodness. Okay. Apparently they sold 2 copies, Jess, and you got one of them.
I sold 2 copies.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's always an adventure. Tag, cedar trees are my favorite of the deer family. Yeah, I like cedar trees. Did you get her a 4? Did you get her 4 on the floor flower truck? No, I bought her a 2004 Ford F-250 diesel automatic 4-wheel drive
with a flatbed.
And so truck runs It needs probably got to put fuel injectors in it, and probably needs tires.
I cannot wait to see if that light blinks.
Mm-hmm. You are such a dork. So 2004, 98,000 miles, 4-wheel drive, diesel with a flatbed. Anybody guess what I paid for it? Yeah, don't set the seat for your height. Yeah, no doubt how we learned that lesson. Oh my goodness. Okay, exactly what is the proof of whatever it is he's drinking? Yeah, it's up there somewhere.
100.
Yeah. So much fun to grow older and still have fun. Oh, heck yeah. Mandy says, I'll have what he's having. Yeah. Jen Botho says, all the lives I've missed. I'm so glad it wasn't this one. Yeah. Oh my God, my eyes are still watering. You know what? At the end of the day, I just love great people. You know, people that you can just have fun with and enjoy life, and just way too cool. Way too cool. All right, let me see here. Nice truck. Yeah, well, for just gonna be a farm truck for us. Okay, Pete says we gave 5 for it. Mandy says 3,000, and Gypsy cheated because he knew what I paid for it. I gave $2,500 for it. And this is going to become B's new farm truck because B needs a farm truck, right? Probably need tires, so that means I'll have another $1,500 in there, and I think I'm going to put injectors in it, so maybe another $1,000 there, maybe. But should be a pretty good truck that'll go, you know, a long way. Instigator says, know what would fit in the back of that truck?
A barrel of honey.
Yeah, let me tell you something. My wife is worth a lot, but she's been very expensive lately.
I don't even have anything to say to that.
Yeah, what do you got to say to that?
You're right. Thank you.
Oh, what were we talking about? We were driving down the road and we were talking about it's amazing. I'm like, you're excited, right? And you're like, yeah, it's amazing. And I said, well, how is that different than any other day in your life? Right?
I said a dream come true.
It's a dream. That's right. We have some other stuff coming up that she's pretty excited about, which I'll share with you guys tonight. You guys already know a little bit about it, and she's like, today we're driving down the road and she says, man, this is just a dream come true. And I'm like, how is this any different than any other day in your life? And you said,
it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
I like my rainbows. Glitter is amazing.
Glitter is amazing. Brett says, nice buy, Tag. I was thinking half of California prices. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But it was half of a half. Yeah. Traded 2 chickens and a pig for it. Yeah. What a bargain. Yeah. I think it's gonna do good for B. If she dents it, it's fine. If it hurts it, it's fine. Right. It's just a farm truck. And this is sitting outside of someone in the community. We call him Mechanic Mike, or I like to call him Clamp because he left Clamp off my truck one day. But anyway, it's sitting outside of his shop, and that's where I got it. But it should just be a good farm truck. So nothing special, but should be, right?
And if you call him Clamp, that's okay because you've already gotten rid of Clamp.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Pete.
Clamp 2.0.
Yeah, Pete says it needs a push bar. Yeah, it needs a lot, right? Yep, go B. Yep, SG. Hello from Northern Arizona. Yeah, if you're up in Arizona, you're American roots country. Well, Phoenix isn't really northern,
Not
right?
northern.
Well, it's Arizona, right?
It's closer than we are.
Yeah. No. Glitter is the devil. I have 10 kids. Yeah, I bet that is right. That is right. All right. Next time, before I just been talking away, what else you got? You want to talk about?
I think that really we kind of flowed into all of them. Well, we ended up having 39 people for the dinner, right?
Oh, yep. So last
had a community
Tuesday,
dinner.
We had a community dinner, and there were 39 people there, and we had, what did we have? Taco
bar.
Yep. So we've talked about this before. We have a little restaurant called 1886. They open up just for us. So they close at 2 every day. But in the evenings, if the community wants to get together, she'll come in, turn the stoves on, turn everything on, and cook for us. And we can have a dinner. And there was 39 people there.
We did a hamburger bar one time. We did a taco bar one time. We did breakfast buffet one time.
Yeah. So it's super, super cool. And it was neat to see everybody. And I'm a little bit of a homer this way, but I like to just lean against the wall and watch it all.
You get to see there's new people too. Did you see
There's,
new people?
there was a new couple there. Yeah. Yep. They came with another community member.
Yeah.
That was there, and I got a chance to talk to them just a little bit. But
Oh, there was just one new person? Because I thought that 3 people had RSVP'd for new people.
well, like there's a couple of them there that would never come to a community dinner, but I knew them, right? They lived down by Grumpy and them,
Oh,
right? I did some training with them and some
Okay,
stuff
okay,
like
okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah. So JB says my son rebuilds injectors. Well, I'm interested.
How far are you?
How far is your son away from me? You know. Conserve Friend says, where's the B decal for the truck? I'm behind on the truck and on the tractor, but the tractor I'm I'm on vacation on the back.
I want to see it before you stick anything on my tractor.
No.
You got to approve it
No.
by me.
No, I don't.
I have to
No, I
sign
don't.
off on it.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. Tag in your travels. How many groups out there are building out medical clinics, minor surgery rooms? Always seemed like it wasn't realistic for most. So some of them are super advanced and have some of these kinds of things, you know, like the one I visited in Florida would be pretty advanced. But not a lot of them, you know, and Tim, I've talked about this in my lives before too. You know, when I set out to go speak and to visit these other communities, I was hoping what I could do is learn in order to bring that information back to my community so we could get better. But what I learned was we're further along than any of them. And so I haven't really experienced a community that's more advanced in their journey than we are here. I'm hoping to.
We would love to.
I would love to experience that. Yeah. Because
See how that goes.
Well, we don't have to reinvent everything. We can just learn it, you know? So yeah, not a lot would be the answer to the question.
I think that every community would work differently anyway, just
Probably.
like the beekeeping, the farming,
Yeah.
What's the right way? You ask 10 people.
Yeah.
You get 13 answers.
Yeah. All right. So next big news for you guys is, so I have come to terms with food forest abundance.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere with that.
So we are going to be an official food forest academy for the Midwest, and everything is under works now, and designs are being worked on. They're about to fly out. They're going to do a bunch of soil testing, you know, a bunch of stuff like that. And it's way more than just putting food forests in. And so they will, you know, help me engineer the plans for the Airbnbs, and they'll help me engineer the plans for, you know, a lot of these things that will go on, the water systems, and making it all work exactly right. So it'll be probably a while for me to get it done, because it's going to be a ton of work, but I'm super excited. Like I said, we've agreed, and they're paid in full. And so here we go, and off we run.
Well, they have to do their part, and then they give us the designs and information, and then we have to do our part. So,
well, yeah, well,
you're already working on your part. So,
yeah, and there'll be, you know, 1,800 consultations in the middle of it, and figuring it all out, and all of those things. Yeah, but basically, so what they're going to do, if you look in there, so if you look at that little bottom list down there, they're going to come in and talk about, you know, water management, and, you know, access and composting and animal integration, and, you know, building guilds and herb spirals and annual gardens and specialty gardens, compost teas, vermiculture, talk about the bees, planting, education opportunities, environmental considerations, greenhouses and root cellars, outdoor kitchens, pagodas, ponds, hugelkultur, edible flowers, keyhole gardens, chicken coops, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so what I will get is this huge binder, basically, when it's all said and done. And it will be full of all of these things. Now, this is going to be a blessing for far more than just me, because this will be right through the community. We'll be able to learn how to do it better and better. And I'll have some huge resources to be able to do it. And so,
well, it makes it an academy. So
Yep.
then other people can come to learn.
Yep.
So it's not just a benefit to us. It's a benefit to not just those around us, but
Yep.
even from afar that want to look and see what that looks like here. Because I'm sure it looks different in Florida.
Yeah. Eagle Ever says,
Michigan.
on your property. Yes, on my property. Gizmo says, is it possible to do a food forest on 1 acre? Yes, it is. Actually, I've seen some designs that they've done on 1/4
I
acres.
was gonna say they go down.
Yeah.
From I think it starts at 1/4 acre and then it goes up to infinity, right?
Yeah. SG says, love y'all. Got to go make my first strawberry jam. Congratulations.
Delicious.
Fingers crossed. Yep. Starla said, "Where'd you get the cedar trees?" I got them from my property.
We dug them up.
Yep. Yep. Lover Ram says, "Wow, this rocks." Eagle Lover says, "I have 21 fruit trees on my 1/3 acre." Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely possible. And if anybody wants the contact information of these people at Food Forest Abundance, Jim Gale, and we can absolutely do it. I can absolutely get you in contact with designers or whatever you want to do. But I'm very excited about it. B and I have always wanted to figure out how to live freer and freer and freer, and how to help people live freer and freer and freer. And this is,
it's a different way.
You guys have probably heard me say this many times, but you can buy your way to energy independence, and you can buy your way to water independence in a lot of cases. You can buy your way through financial freedom in a lot of ways, but food independence, you can't buy your way through. Right? I mean, yes, you can buy plants. Yes, you can do those kinds of things, but it is a sweat, blood, right? You got to get out in the dirt. It's the only way it's ever going to work.
And this is a whole different way of doing it.
Yes.
Because like I say, you want our yard to look like a golf course. You want it to be.
That's not true.
Cut.
That's not true.
Once a week, mowed down, everything cleaned up, sharp edges, and then you go down and look at a food forest and go, hey, I can live with this. This is okay.
Yeah, babe, but the truth is I never really wanted the golf course. What I want is the sides of my driveway to be mowed when I come down it, my little piece of grass on my front. The rest of the property can be whatever. I want to keep the ticks
like
back and the chiggers
feet
back.
to the road. Your little area, it takes us a whole day between the both of us to do it.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short, we're excited. And you guys will be involved in it along the way, right? Because we will share all of the progress.
Yeah, somebody's calling in.
And all of that. And so we'll be super, super excited about that. And so I thought, since we are going forward with it, I would show you. I've been working on the community building that we're building right now. And I think this is what I'm going to make, what it's going to look like. Let me get that next picture in. So I think this is what it's going to look like. Again, it's 30 by 60. I haven't drawn the windows in and all that because it'll depend on what windows come. But I think this is what we're going to go with, right?
I like that.
It'll give me an overhang so we can put picnic tables outside so people can be outside, but yet give us some, place to work in there.
And you're putting pillars?
Skins Girl says, I want to never have to mow again. Turn it all into something useful. You would agree with that, right?
Yeah. Well, if you let it grow long, then you can bale it and feed it to your animals later. If you continue to cut it, you're just cutting it.
Yeah. Nito says, I have put in a food forest on my property and we are on 1 acre. No, let me see here. Eagle Lover says apples, peaches, pears, nectarines, limes, lemons, oranges, tangerines, mandarins, blueberries, and avocados.
I like all that.
I was going to say, any of them you don't like?
No, I would. Yes. All of those, please.
All of those, please. Yeah. Yeah. How wonderful is that? All
yeah.
Right,
we can't do a lot of those here, though.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What's next on your list, Mom?
That was it.
That's it for you?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
It only took me an hour and a half to get through it.
Are we an hour and a half? All right. Look, you guys want to get into some news and some stuff that's going on around the world? So you guys know I like to put some articles in here. This one I found super interesting. So California, and this has been going on for a little while, but this article was posted 10 hours ago. California will no longer let you leave because of the new wealth and exit tax. So basically, the proposed wealth tax involves an annual taxation based on the assets of the rich, accompanied by a disturbing tactic of weaponizing attorneys to scrutinize and potentially sue affluent individuals for underreporting their assets. The implementation of the California exit tax further exacerbates the situation. Individuals and businesses seek to relocate outside the state will now be burdened with a one-time tax based on the value of their assets, including their property and their investments. This punitive measure not only discourages migration, but also imposes hefty financial penalties for those seeking to leave California. Ouch.
When did this start?
Huh?
When did this start?
Well, I had heard about this probably a year ago that this was in the works, but this is an article that I found today when I was preparing. But, if they can't get you to stay because of the wonderful economics that they have, or, whatever it is, they're just going to force you to stay financially so they can keep taxing you to death, right? Because everyone that leaves, right, is less tax revenue.
Jeez.
Catherine said, so B is high maintenance. Nay, not so. It's Tag. Tag, she's the expensive one. I'm easy.
I'm not high maintenance. I don't even brush my hair.
No, you require tractors.
I was able to use my brand new tractor and move a big bale of hay this week.
Yeah, G-John says, how do they enforce it? I have no idea, but I think that's a really good question. Pete says it hasn't been pushed through yet. Yeah, I hope it never comes through if that's the case. Gypsy says, welcome to Hotel California. How is this even constitutional? Well, it wouldn't be, but why does that matter, right? So incorporate, open an out-of-state state branch and transfer assets for a period of time. This thing will be shot down in court. I hope it is. Carrie said Tyson pulled a good one this week. Yeah, they laid off 1,200 employees.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
like 1,200 employees this week. And I think that
Weren't they hiring?
A whole bunch of
Others.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds like communism. Yeah. Yeah, Jen says it's been speculated for several years. Thank Lord we got out. Yeah. The one guy reminds me of All American Prepper. The picture. Yep, easy money. Yep, Bill and Fallon, welcome, by the way. You could make a short-term side hustle driving U-Hauls trucks back to California. Yes, you could. Yep, infringes on freedom to move around. Yep. Oh, Tamara come in the house. Hey, Tamara, good evening to you. Hope all is well. All right. Let me see here. So home foreclosures are soaring nationwide and rising fast in these 5 states. So you guys probably know this, but the housing market's starting to really turn the other way. But I just found this article interesting. I just copy and pasted the meat of it. But according to a new published report by real estate data provider ATTOM, which found that there were 32,938 properties in February with foreclosure filings, which includes default notices, scheduled auctions, and bank repossessions. That marks an 8% increase from the previous year. The big states were South Carolina foreclosures surged 51%. When this one surprised me, while Missouri saw a 50% jump and Pennsylvania saw a 46% increase. Foreclosures in Texas rose 7%, and in Indiana, they climbed by almost 1%. So, any guess what I found so interesting about this? The numbers are big, although it's year after year, and so who knows? But what I found interesting is none of it is regionally located.
Right.
That these are places that are, a long ways apart. Yeah, let me see here. Nito says a lot of people from California have moved here, just don't want them bringing their politics with them. The problem is they will, right? Because people are stupid. And the same policies that made them leave, they'll try to vote back in, right? Yeah, who knows? But all right, what else we got here? Because we are trucking along. Oh, I found this. Elon Musk posted this tweet from this guy named Jim's Bank, and he says, and this is new data from ICE, shows that the Biden administration has only deported 0.25% of the Venezuelans who have come here illegally into our country. So of the 335,000 encounters, they've successfully deported 834 people.
Well, at least they're working on it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a quarter of 1%. But what I also find fascinating is then Biden comes out and says he wants to spend $7.3 trillion in 2025.
Oh my gosh.
$7.3 trillion. So that's $45,000 for every taxpayer. Right? To support this stuff. Insane. Just absolutely insane. One more rock says, I bought 2 avocados and it cost over $7.
For 2 avocados.
Yep. That's what happened. I see it in Florida. Vote for more taxes. It's crazy. There will probably be more foreclosures soon. Yep. The mortgage on the other house on our property just went up 53% because of the homeowner.
What?
What is that? Will probably be more foreclosures soon. The mortgage on the other house on our property went up 53% because of the homeowner.
The mortgage did.
Yeah, man, get out of debt. That is just some great advice. A homeowner's insurance. There you go. Okay. The homeowner's insurance went up 53%.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Get yourself in a place where you don't have to carry it if you don't want to. We see California tried to enact an exit tax in the past 15, 20 years ago, but it was struck down by the courts.
Exit tax.
Yeah, I hope it keeps getting struck down too. Florida apparently is looking at no tax on homes. I think property tax is the single biggest fight we should be fighting right now. Coworker's escrow was so short that her mortgage is going up $500 a month.
Oh man.
Yeah, and they wonder why they have foreclosures. Hey, wanted to remind all you guys, I just put this right in the middle of it all, that on May the 10th at 3 p.m., we're going to go live from the Midwest Preparedness Festival. This is the first time we've ever attempted to do this. And I wanted to announce you guys tonight that we've got some really cool giveaways. I have two of them, and one of them we're going to give away to the audience online, and one of them we're going to give away to the audience sitting right there.
Out.
Yep. So don't forget to put that down, and I hope to see you guys there. Oh, this was fun. I got a handful of COVID articles that I found interesting. So researchers are saying COVID-19 causes brain fog and shrinkage and lowers your IQ now.
Great.
Right? So is that because they want, a dumber population?
They've been doing that for a long time, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly Ireland.
But I haven't seen now that they've linked it to the COVID.
Yeah. So they're saying COVID-19 leads to lower IQ. Just remember that, okay? They're also saying, I also found out that the CDC, there was a brand new 148-page study that came out on myocarditis after the COVID vaccination, and the CDC redacted every single word about it out of their report. And as soon as they did that, then the CDC scraps the 5-day isolation guidance and says that COVID-19 should now be treated just like the flu. Huh. Imagine that. Makes us dumber. Treat it like the flu.
Treat it like the flu.
Isn't that interesting? The COVID pandemic unleashed a pervasive danger, suggesting harrowing new study, and it's not the virus. Really? So now it's not even the virus that's going to cause our problems. You know what's going to cause our problems, you guys?
The vaccine.
No. So the COVID-19 pandemic and its response may have sent a wave of chronic stress and inflammation ripping through society that impaired our collective decision-making, a new study suggests.
No.
The theory comes on the 4-year anniversary of the World Health Organization declaring the global COVID-19 outbreak to be a pandemic. The pandemic saw the global mortality rate jump, but hidden in these statistics are the indirect effects of the virus, many of which are still living with us today. One of which is our psychological response to stress events such as COVID. So let me interpret. It's your fault. It's not COVID. It's not the vaccine. It's your brain. It's not the CDC's fault. It's not the politicians' fault. It's not the vaccine makers' fault. COVID is now your fault. Isn't that just amazing?
Nice little spin.
Am I the only one that finds that amazing? See, Conserve Friend says, Cracker Barrel cheese ad right while you're talking about the Wuhan boogie. I wish I could get rid of all those ads. Duh, they all want us to be stupid. I think it's really interesting how over a week the spin is it makes you stupid, right? If you go back to that, right? It makes you stupid all the way to it's your fault. It's your brain. You couldn't handle the stress. You have nobody to blame but you. And just watch how they continue to spin that, right? And how many people will buy into it? Oh, I was the problem.
Yeah.
Just crazy to me.
There's all those people. There's all kinds in this world.
They evidently don't like you talking about this now. Ads and then buffering. Yeah.
All of a sudden.
You won't believe some of the stuff I see about. I was showing on the last live, for those of you guys who didn't see it, that I had posted a video of just kind of a walk around on the farm, and 6 hours later or whatever it was, it said it had an hour.
Views.
I don't remember how it said it had no views, but yet if you go into it, I did, and it was just funny how it works. I don't care. Well, we have a crazy monsoon happening right now. Cats and dogs. See what else we got going on here. Because I think at the end of the day, let me see. He says, Hector says most people today are already stupid. we have to take our health into our own hands. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
And I know that there's lots of really, really smart people out there, and there's lots of smart people, right, that are in the government who are taking care of your health. And so I went and just took a look and thought I would share with you guys in some countries like, the United States, for example, or even cities like Ontario, who's in charge of the health? Because at the end of the day, we're going to invest in our health, or we're going to invest in them in our illness later, right? So you guys curious who's in charge? So in many countries, these are the people who are running the health organizations, right? So you've got the United States, followed by Belgium, England, and Quebec. These are the people who are going to make the decisions. So invest in your health now, or you'll be investing in them, right? These are the people who, some of the many people, right, who will control, that outcome. I think it's just amazing.
Good role models.
Yeah. This one's a boy who dresses like a girl. I don't know anything about these other ones personally, but I don't want to invest in them. I want to invest in me. And I think that's just good advice, Amy B says, it sounds like a bad breakup. It's your fault. I could not believe, Amy, that they spun that all the way to say that now the problem with COVID is you. If COVID causes brain fog, Biden must have had the mother of all COVID infections. Yep, Starla, good evening. People are waking up. I hope so. None of them look healthy. This is kind of my point, right? I mean, we can decide, or we can put our faith in them to decide for us. Yep. Very sturdy, solid folks. Yep. Boy, they don't look healthy. Yeah. Look at them. I want to invest in diabetes drugs. Yep. Damn Frenchman. He doesn't look so healthy. This is my point. It's exactly my point. Let's invest in our health by putting in food forests, right? By eating right. And not just that, we can control our stress level a whole lot if we're not having to keep up with the Joneses all the time.
Yeah.
And we get to live a life that has some meaning in it and some purpose in it, right? Living life according to your terms, the chase for freedom will cut down all of those health issues.
Community.
Right? Community will absolutely help.
Yeah, you hang out with people you like, you laugh, you have fun, you enjoy yourself, you de-stress.
Yep. But guys, I promise you, they're going to come after us, right? I mean, they don't like the talk of freedom. And, I know you guys probably seen this, but, earlier today, this article comes out. I got it at least today, but, and this has been covered by a lot of YouTube channels out there, but viral right-wing homesteading influencers are demonizing migrants and pushing nativist conspiracy theories. Homesteading content and groups are popping up across right-wing social media platforms. Oh, like YouTube? Or wait, Facebook? Which right-wing conservative platforms are they referring to? But this article came out by Media Matters, which is a huge organization. And I thought it was interesting that in the article, they actually called out the Prepared Homestead, the Patriot Nurse, the American Homestead, Riverside Homestead, Appalachia's Homestead with Patera, and Joe Salatin was called out as anti-migrant. Wow. And so, yes, they're absolutely going to do it. And again, a lot of YouTube channels have covered this. You want me to read any of it? You reading it? You want to read it?
Oh, no, I can see a few of the words, so I was trying to skim through what was.
I'll read that paragraph. So it says the homestead lifestyle, which these influencers proudly promote and based their content on, is not exclusively a right-wing phenomenon. It's the crunchy culture, which is the foundation of the homesteading movement. It is deeply rooted in anti-government sentiment and anti-modernism, which strives for independence from the mainstream. The movement broadly disavows cultural relevance and focuses on life and survival without government interference, often choosing to settle in rural areas with plenty of room to grow food, graze animals, and raise children.
Those heathens.
Guilty. Subscribers to this movement promote self-sufficiency, and some advocate for traditional gender norms as well. Oh my goodness. Aligning themselves with the adjunct trade wife sect that has been gaining popularity within right-wing circles for romanticizing anti-feminism. A fraction of these influencers also produce content around doomsday preparation and the supposed coming collapse of society, which often leans into deep conspiratorial thinking.
Sinners.
Yep, they even compared it. That's right, conservative friends. They even compared it to the KKK. Yeah, we all need these things that have been banned in other countries while we pay for all the things other countries. Who's the fool? Yeah, yeah, we are the fool. Terminator says, tag, I have apple trees, currant bushes, blueberries, hawthorn trees, wild hazelnut trees, just to name a few. Yep, love that. Yep, damn straight, says Love Brums Rampant. Let me see here. What they call a migrant is actually an illegal alien. This illegal migration is what these folks oppose. And another commercial, says Dana Green. How many homesteaders? 1 million? How many illegals? 5 million? We are losing ground if that's the case. Yeah, probably are. Right?
Ooh.
Yeah, good point. Well, I'm already on the commies domestic terror list. Homesteaders, just another mark against me. I actually think it's a badge you should wear on your shirt. Like we should get maybe some patches,
A star.
Yeah, just line them all up. I'm a homesteader. I'm, heterosexual. I'm, Christian, whatever the things are. We'll just line them all up. Yeah, they say that Farm Ranch Homestead says it's only a conspiracy until truth comes out. I've had a lot of my friends say that what the difference between mainstream news and a conspiracy theory, and the answer is 6 months. Right?
If that anymore, geez.
Yeah, guilty and proud of it. Yeah, this article was super interesting. Yeah, if you guys Google Media Matters and go on their website, you'll find this entire article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's crazy that we're being invaded, and we are absolutely being invaded, and yet we're the bad guys
on purpose too.
It's amazing they rush through a vaccine, they don't fully test it, and there's all kinds of side effects, and we're the bad guys, right? And it's just this constant turn and this constant spin, and this gets us all the way back to where we were before, which is why community matters so much, because they attack us in a million kind of ways. You see here, Hickshaw says now they want to call the illegals newcomers. Yeah, right.
Newcomers.
Anybody who's never read the book 1984, go read it. Yeah. I wonder if the right-wing platforms are Rumble, Truth Social, and Discord. I don't know. I mean, the channels, the people that they talked about right there have huge followings on YouTube. I can tell you that 100%. Illegal numbers are more than 26 states, maybe more now. Yeah. These days, it's less than 6 months. Yeah. Yeah. I say there's north of 15 illegals in the last 3 years. It will change us for better or for worse. I think we're already changed. I think we are already changed. I think COVID, we'll look back at history many years from now, and we will see that COVID probably has a big impact on our society and our cultures, as about anything. Do you know another turkey or chicken place burned down?
I did not.
Yeah, look at that. Fire engulfs American chicken farm.
Oh, man, that's a big old place.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Firefighters think the fire might have started in a new building that was recently built in the burnt area. A worker at the construction site said that they were not working there right now, but the other workers at the plant were back on the job. Even though the fire destroyed both buildings, the people in charge say there's no need to worry about the environment. Look at that smoke, right? Yeah, you got to worry about it. Right now, they haven't said how many chickens were lost in the fire.
Those are two different buildings there?
Yeah, and so there was this one was in Texas. I think it happened Wednesday. If I got it right. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I know we got a lot of Texans in here. LJC says there was a fertilizer plant fire about 15 miles south of us a few days ago.
Oh, but that stunk.
Yeah, many forgot about the hundreds of thousands that have invaded Europe. Can you say it's planned? Oh, it's 100% an invasion. And I don't necessarily know that it's, the military invasion that people make it out to be, or it's let's crash the economy invasion, right? I mean, and this is going to go on a lot of different fronts, guys. You guys watch. We're going to have huge cyber attacks on banks. Banks are going to collapse. Here comes CBC because they need to save us from the banks. I promise you, right? I mean, it's build the crisis and then let's, offer the solution to fix the crisis that they themselves built, right? And guys, one other slide I want to add tonight, and I did purposely added this kind of at the end of our talk tonight because I know I'm going to take heat over it, but I don't really care. But we fall for this whole two-party thing. We all fall for this, Trump's going to solve us or Biden's going to fix it or, the next one or the next one or the next one. It's the two-party system, and all we're doing is buying into the game. I mean, how in the world do you ever win a game, imagine playing Monopoly where one player has 99% of the money and all the board pieces and already owns all the land, but keeps you playing. I mean, what's the hopes that, you're ever going to win any of that, right? And so I just wanted to share a tweet that Donald Trump put out, which says the pandemic no longer controls our lives. The vaccines that saved us from COVID are now being used to help beat cancer, turning setback into comeback. You're welcome, Joe. 9-month approval time versus 12 years that it would have taken you. So, I'm, you guys have heard me say it many, many times. I'm not a Trump fan. However, he did a lot of great things for this country, but it's still the same game. And this is not a negative to Trump. I'm just telling you that the whole system, there's no longer a political solution to our problems. You're not going to go to the ballot box and fix any of this. The way we're going to fix it is starting locally, building our own communities, building our own parallel economies in our own societies, finding ways to take care of ourselves and not depend on them.
Yeah.
I don't see any other way. Let me see here. Texas is also thinking of removing property tax, which would be wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful they ever do it. The UN is promoting it to break the Western culture. Yep. Martial law is what scares me the most when we are on our own. War games, the only way to win is not to play the game. Mo, I can't say that any better, bud. We've got to find our own game to play. We don't have to be mean to them or yell at them or fight them. We don't have to do any of that. We just have to create our own, and ignore them. Hey, Troy Sutton, good evening to you. We are post-America. Trump can only slow things down, giving us more prep time. I wouldn't argue with that. Catherine says, I haven't had any ads.
What?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep. All right, babe. Well, it's about 2 hours. What do you want to leave? What do you want to leave everybody with today?
That the power of community is mighty. That the people in tiny houses needed a place to go. And here we say, hey, come on in. We welcome you, during this storm. And when you can't be there to unload the solar panels, you call somebody and say, hey, I need help. And he says, I have 101-degree fever and I will come and I will take care of your solar panels. Not only for you, but for 14 other people.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. And when you're looking for a cow and there's someone in the community that's got more expertise, not only do they go with you, they load up their truck and their trailer. Not only that, they offer to barter some of their own possessions to get you a better price.
I know. Yeah.
Right? We have community members who drive, hours and hours and hours and hours to lend a hand.
Yeah.
Right? We've been blessed this week with so much of that. And it's, just spread throughout the community. I mean always, but this week has just been, just such an incredible experience in, just so many great ways. But guys, just know that it starts small. It's the little things that, turn big. And so I'd like
giving of yourself.
Yep. I'd like to leave you guys with a quote tonight in reference to this. And, Sun Tzu said, plan for what is difficult while it is easy and do what is great while it's still small. Right. And we've got to do what's great while it's still small. And we have to do the difficult things while it's easy. We don't want to roof a house when it starts raining.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Or look for community when there's no way to reach people.
Yeah.
If you do it intentionally now, you will find yourself in a better position later.
Yeah. But you got to put in the work now. You got to eat the dirt now. Right. We got to go out. We got to be intentional. We've got to invest. We got to be good people. We've got to do our part plus just a little bit. And if you do that, everything will be okay. Right.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think the rapper's back in. We got a rapper.
Whoa,
back.
I found somebody. Hey. We wrote y'all a rap song.
Okay.
Right? You ready to sing it?
All right. Here we go.
Yo, it's Sausage and me. We're here to hang with
Tag and
That's right. You can just call up, maybe just holla. Or just like and subscribe. Tag and B will make $1.
Yeah.
Whoa!
That was fresh.
All right.
Good job, man. Sausage and me. Loop man out.
Yeah.
I can't make it any better than that. You guys have yourselves a good night. We love you. We'll see you guys on Friday.
Hold the line.
Hold the line, everybody.
Don't give an inch.